Oscar's Steakhouse in downtown Las Vegas is just a 10-minute drive from the Strip and half the cost. We're Kristin and Will, and over the past few months, we've been reviewing the best steakhouses in New York City. Over the next 6 days, we'll be trying 6 of the best steakhouses here in Las Vegas to see how they compare. Today, we're at Oscar's to see if this downtown staple is worth the trip.
Oscar's Steakhouse is in the Plaza Hotel and right on the top of Fremont Street. We are sitting in a glass dome and have panoramic views of downtown Las Vegas. I love seeing all the lights. It is also gorgeous in here. There are these beautiful chandeliers hanging from the middle of the room. And even though it's so bright and airy, it's also cozy with all the dark colors. I love the light fixtures, the dark leathers, the red rug. It feels so Vegas-y and so much fun. I cannot wait to try the food. It was named after former Las Vegas mayor Oscar Goodman, and before that, he was a defense attorney for a lot of infamous Vegas mobsters. And one thing that I think is really funny is a lot of items on the menu are named after some of the people he defended.
So I wanted to talk quickly about the prices because the price differences here are more than worth the cost of the Uber. We're going to be getting the Oscar's 24-ounce bone-in ribeye, which costs $69. The 18-ounce boneless ribeye we just had at SW was $95. The 24-ounce bone-in ribeye from Golden Steer is $98. And if you're really feeling ambitious, the 18-ounce bone-in ribeye from Prime is $112. We're also going to be trying Oscar's Black Angus burger, the creamed corn, and the Brussels sprouts. And we're definitely going to be saving a little bit of room for dessert.
Thank you so much. We just got the bread. This plate is so nice and hot, and there's some salt and other seasoning on top. It looks so fresh and soft. The butter also looks super soft, and I love how there's a little bit of salt on top of the butter as well. Okay, the butter actually isn't that soft, but it's not terrible. The inside looks a bit yellow, so I'm curious to see what kind of flavor this is gonna have. It is so nice and soft, and the top is so flavorful. It almost tastes like potato bread. It's a little salty. I taste onion and garlic powder, and it just complements the bread so well. Really good. I'm gonna save the steak for last and start with this burger. There are 2 patties, cheese, sauce, and frizzled onions, some pickles, and lettuce. It is fully loaded. This thing is huge. Let's give it a try. That is delicious. It's definitely not your typical steakhouse burger in the sense that the patty or meat is not the main event. I kind of taste all the other sides more, but it's still delicious. I get a lot of those frizzled onions and some extra like garlic flavor in that coating around them. It adds nice crunch. Also the lettuce in there adds a really nice crunch. It's cheesy. I also love that like ketchup mayo Big Mac sauce that's on it. Oh, and the last thing I'll say is the bun is perfect. It's nice and lightly toasted and just adds like a little bit of a savory flavor and like a softness to the burger. It is so good.
That is really good. The sauce definitely has some ketchup in it. I taste that for sure. Between the cheese and the onions and that big bun, there's definitely a lot going on that kind of masks the flavor of the burger a little bit, but it's still delicious and they all complement each other so well.
Now let's try these sides. Our waitress told us that the cream corn, the Brussels sprouts, and the mac and cheese were their top 3 sides. We decided to go with the cream corn and Brussels sprouts just because we thought the mac and cheese would be a little too much, but it was a really hard decision because we just had amazing mac and cheese at SW. But let's give these Brussels sprouts a try. They look so nice and crispy, and there's so much Parmesan cheese on top. Wow. They're nice and al dente, but they're honestly not too crunchy. The Parmesan adds such a nice complement to the Brussels sprouts. Honestly, Brussels sprouts and Parmesan cheese is like one of my favorite things ever. I just feel like the combination goes so well. And the flavoring of this is so awesome. I taste a lot of onion, some garlic. It's seasoned to perfection, just wish that they were a little bit crispier. Next, let's try this cream corn. It looks like there's some sort of like creamy substance underneath and so much corn on top. So I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of both. Wow. That is amazing. It almost tastes like a deconstructed corn souffle. You got those nice corn kernels to crunch on top, and underneath is this creamy, corny deliciousness. It's like milky and savory, and the corn kernels on top are like a little bit burnt, so it adds this nice richness, smokiness, crunch. It's also a little spicy, which I wasn't expecting. I think that they put like fresh paprika on top. That is amazing. This steak looks incredible. It has a nice crust on top, but not too much char. Let's get a piece from the middle and see how the temperature is. I can also see a ton of butter on top. It looks medium rare. It's got a little marble to it, but not too much. It almost seems like instead of it being marbled throughout, there's like this nice rib cap and then like strips of fat. But let's see as we keep eating. I'm just gonna try a little bit of the steak. I am starving, so I'm very excited. Okay, it's good, but I've definitely had better. But it's kind of more on the simple side. It doesn't have a lot of char. It's kind of just your typical like salt, pepper, garlic, and a little bit of butter. I just feel like it's missing something. Like I said, it's really good. It's cooked perfectly. It's just like a little bit more on the bland side, I guess. I feel like compared to some other steakhouses we've been to, it's just missing a little something extra, but like I said, still really delicious.
I definitely taste a lot of butter. I do think it would be really nice if it had a bit more of a char. There's not really much of like a crunchy texture at all. It's very good. It's probably not the best ribeye we've ever had, but for the price, I definitely don't think you'd be disappointed with this steak.
That was a good piece. You know it's a good steak when you're eating every last bite off the bone. Our waitress recommended this deep dish chocolate chip cookie with vanilla ice cream on top, and it smells heavenly. It's also so nice and hot. I can't even touch the skillet, it's so hot. Let's give it a try. Wow, that is so good. It's so nice and gooey on the inside, but then the outside is all nice and golden brown and a little crunchy. Those chocolate chips are so nice and chocolatey. It's more of like a semi-sweet flavor, which I love and is a perfect complement with that sweet cookie and the sweet ice cream. I also love how the hot cookie complements the cool ice cream, and then that ice cream adds like a little bit of extra creaminess. I am so full, but I know we're gonna have no problem finishing this.
I feel like you can't go wrong with a cookie skillet. I'm excited to give this a try. I love the chocolate. And this vanilla just adds so much creaminess. It's nice and crunchy on the end, not overly chocolatey, not overly rich, delicious. We had a great meal at Oscar's. The service and the ambiance were fantastic, and it was such a nice excuse to come down to Fremont Street. And I definitely think it is an incredible value for the area. Well, if you guys have ever been here, let us know what you thought of it. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.